Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be continuing my Sundance 2022 journey with Fresh, starring Sebastian Stan, Daisy Edgar-Jones, directed by Mimi Cave, which is her directorial debut, which is one hell of an impressive directorial debut because I absolutely love this movie. Like I said in my last video, if you guys have missed that, I watched the first two Sundance movies I watched is The Worst Person in the World and now Fresh, and this is one hell of a start. Very different movies. This one is definitely a thriller type of horror, very unsettling movie that has a lot of fun and just entertaining moments. This is a dark comedy at times. This is a very disgusting, just cringing in your seats and not wanting to look at the screen because it's so just insane at times. It's terrifying. It's very tense, and I'm just incredibly impressed with this film. The basic premise of this movie shows the horrors in modern dating life, and so you have Daisy Edgar-Jones meeting Sebastian Stan's character and getting to know him for a little while until the movie completely shifts into a completely different type of story. And I implore you guys to go into this movie without knowing what it's about because it takes so many twists and turns that it's just so amazing. I knew one little thing, one little detail about the movie if you read the synopsis for it, but besides that, I knew nothing going into this movie. And although the movie goes in directions that you're kind of expecting it to go in once it gets started, once it gets going, you don't know when those things are going to happen. So this movie has a great way of building tension because you're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for a character to do something that you want them to do, or that you're just waiting, that that they're going to do to try to get out of whatever situation that they're in. And it just holds that tension for so long. And I can say that about a lot of different elements in this film. This movie doesn't, give everything away at once. It likes to build and it keeps on escalating over and over and over again. And it just, like I said, it builds that tension. But even within smaller, more condensed scenes, it's not just, a quick scene, you get what you want and then you move on. It takes its time to set up these characters and to set up motivations of what they're doing. And it kind of holds back in some ways. There's some characters that you don't get to see on screen for a while and you only hear their voice. And I think that's a brilliant decision because it really puts you in the perspective of the main character. And Daisy Edgar-Jones is a star. She is such a great character to, follow throughout the movie. And I think that the first 30 minutes, although it takes a minute to, kind of set up these characters and set up what they're going to do, I appreciated that once it came to the end, that it had that time to kind of be kind of a rom-com at first until it has that switch into becoming a more intense thriller. And just some things that happen towards the end of this movie are insane. And it's just like, I was curling up in my seat. It is so uncomfortable, but in the best ways. But by far, the biggest thing that I can praise about this film is Sebastian Stan's performance. He plays such a brilliant psychopath. It reminded me of American Psycho and Christian Bale's performance in that movie, where he's just having so much fun. The amount of commitment that he came with this film and with this performance is off the charts. He is so endlessly entertaining in this role, and it's fun to see Sebastian Stan in a crazy role like this. It's not very often where you get to see him, being like this. Of course, he's mostly known for being the Winter Soldier amongst other things, but man, his performance in this movie is so and it's just endlessly entertaining. This is a movie where I've had a grin on my face for pretty much the entire runtime. I was curling up in my seat. I was cringing at the gross things in this movie, and it was such a great experience, and I cannot wait for everybody to be able to see this movie. I highly recommend this for everybody. Well, maybe not everybody. I think some people are going to be too grossed out to watch this movie. If you read the synopsis of the movie and you don't want to get into that just based on that because you think it's too gross, then sure, you can bail on this movie. But for people who love the genre and love this type of like crazy stories, this very intense, secluded thrillers that are just, edge of your seat intense the entire time, it is so well done. All the characters in this movie are very strong. I think that the writing for them is there was some effort put into this, and I can see this movie given a worse script or with a worse writer or worse director, it could have been a very run-of-the-mill story that just kind of threw everything at the screen and didn't have any care and kind of intention put to every single detail in it. But this movie is endlessly entertaining. It's a fun popcorn movie while also having a decent message and decent things that the filmmakers want to say out of this movie and with these characters. And I think it's kind of an incredible feat to do both of those things as strongly as they did. And this is not a perfect film. Honestly, I could have used another maybe 10 or so minutes, especially at the beginning, the first half of this movie, to kind of get to know these characters a little bit more. I kind of wish I learned even more backstory with Sebastian Stan's character. I think there is some to be desired for for that. You know, they did a little, you know, Q&A after the movie with the Sundance Film Festival, and he was talking about how they kind of created this whole backstory for him, and I wanted more of that. And I think there was definitely a lot of effort put on from Sebastian Stan's character to make his character as entertaining as it was. I just wanted more. Is it selfish for me to want more from this movie? I wish I could have had so much more Sebastian Stan, even though, like I said, he's the best part of this movie. Give me more. That's how much I loved this story and these characters and how just bizarre it was. I wanted more of every single thing in this film. And MILLIE Cave as a director is somebody to look out for. She did a great job directing the tension, especially, I keep on mentioning it, but the tension in this film is so incredibly strong. And there's a great dance scene that she decided to put in this movie that it so works with the tone of this movie, because it's fun, but it's also really dark, it's really disturbing, but it's mainly an emphasis on fun. And there's a dance scene that reminded me of this dance scene in Ex Machina, which is just wonderful. I loved this movie. Like I said, I highly recommend for you guys who love the genre to go check this movie out when it comes out. And I did see the premiere of it for Sundance, so they might have a second screening if you guys are still able to get tickets for it. I'm not sure if it's sold out or not, but this is a movie that I cannot wait to watch again. I cannot wait till it has its release, and I cannot wait to share this movie with other people. So thanks everybody for watching this other review for my Sundance Film Festival. I have 9 more movies to watch throughout the entire festival, throughout this weekend, so I'll have a bunch of videos this entire week of just different reviews for different Sundance movies. I already uploaded my review for The Worst Person in the World if you want to check that one out, and also I have a Letterboxd where I'm going to be logging them as soon as I see them. I might have little reviews for them, I might just have a star rating, so if you're interested in seeing that, I also do have a Letterboxd. So thanks everybody for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you did not already, and definitely comment down below if you guys did watch Fresh. Spoiler free, of course. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this film as well. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one.